Hello everybody, this is part 12 of my Las Vegas series, Thoughts on Living in Las Vegas. It's roughly 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been in and out of this casino all day. After all, like I have mentioned to you folks earlier in other videos, I actually do some of the apps, and they're very convenient: Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, or whatnot. And I'm just here. A few thoughts cross my mind. One is, even tourists live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of them live paycheck to paycheck. There are plenty of people that visit Las Vegas that can afford a room at the Cosmopolitan, or the Flamingo, the Link, the Luxor. But then here they are ordering Taco Bell or Thai food or even McDonald's at 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning. And I have something to say about that. First off, for you guys out there that enjoy ordering food on the apps, most casinos don't allow the delivery driver to enter into the casino. I mean, you can, but you would be clogging up traffic, and so it's better to meet the driver at the surface, at the casino entrance. And here's a little tidbit, a little tip for all of you that order from these different apps. Be sure the tip is sufficient, because on Grubhub and DoorDash, the amount given to the driver is spelled out up front. So I think the minimum in Las Vegas for a delivery is $3. That's what the driver would get, that flat rate, or $4 if you didn't give them a tip. So let me just put it to you this way: if you want your food to be there as quickly as possible, you want to at least give the driver anywhere from $4 to $7. Now here's what happens when you don't do that and it's late at night. The first driver that's closest to you will be offered that delivery, and it tells the driver up front how much they're making, how much they'll earn on that delivery. If that driver feels it's too low, he or she will just refuse that delivery, and then the app will go to the next available driver, and on and on and on. Now, let's say that you don't tip at all, and that delivery is probably only worth a whopping $3 or $4. What are the chances, do you think, that a driver out there will accept it? Probably someone that's just down the street, right? So, for everyone out there that always wonders, why didn't I get my order in a timely fashion? Well, it's because you didn't tip enough to the driver. You didn't have a sufficient tip. The apps aren't worth it unless you're in a high-priced city like Seattle, San Francisco, or maybe even LA. There, people are used to tipping anyway, but it's always a good rule of thumb to tip. Don't go by percentages, because if you've got an order that's $30, then if it were just pizza delivery, it'd be like 10%, because table service itself is 20%. But roughly half, that would only be about $3, and that would make the delivery worth $6 or $7. But if you're high or drunk, or you've got the munchies at 2 in the morning, it's best to tip more than that. So that's just a heads up on that part. Now, the main point of this little tangent is people really are paycheck to paycheck. I get a lot of Taco Bell, McDonald's, and even KFC orders delivered to the Palazzo, to these different locations. And that's another statistic I'd like to point out. Roughly, you guys won't believe this, but roughly I don't know, roughly 60%, and you guys can look this up. At least half the population does not even have $10,000 in their accounts. And there's roughly 10 or 15% of the population that don't even have a bank account. And it's very reflective in Las Vegas. You see people here and where they stand. Well, not necessarily where they stand in a rigid fashion, but okay, if they have disposable income, because when you do gamble, when you go to Vegas, it means that you do have disposable income, whether it be on your credit card or, you know, your salary. People have money to burn. So if you can afford to stay at the Palazzo, but then you can't afford to eat at the Palazzo, then that shows that, okay, I mean, that person pretty much is at a certain limit. Because after all, the traditional way of doing the Vegas thing is to be at a casino or a resort. They call it a resort, but to be at a casino and to be able to do everything there. That was how it's designed. Every casino in Vegas, from the high to the low, they all have dinner and drink specials and snack specials. And I tell people all the time, it's, you're at the Luxor or you're at the Flamingo. You don't have to order this. You could just order it on the menu here. You don't have to have room service. A lot of places, like I'm here at Palace Station. Palace Station has that midnight buffet, but you'll have people at Palace Station ordering from Pizza Hut, ordering from KFC, when everything's available at that reasonably priced buffet. It's really easy to get the buffet with your boarding pass. It knocks it down to under $10. But yeah, everyone. And another observation is that there are two types of people that Vegas tends to draw. You have people that have a lot to lose, you know, the whales that you see on movies in films like Casino. Then you've got people with nothing to lose, desperate people, hoping that one spin or one roll of the dice or one flip of the cards changes their lives, turns their lives around. And I guess that's human nature. We hope that our luck changes, and Vegas just expedites that one way and another, good or bad. So I'm here in a stairwell at Palace Station, right by the bingo parlor, which is across the way. If you can see right there, let's see, right there, that is the bingo parlor. And you look up here, it's just probably to administrative offices for the employees. But the reason why I'm doing it in the stairwell here is because the carpeting here and the fact that it's an alcove blocks out the sound. I really wanted to do it at one of the bars here in the casino. Like, as a matter of fact, that right there is another bar. If you look right there in between the slot machines, that's a bar, but it's too noisy. And I want to make sure that you folks hear what I have to say. Let's see here. So the tip about the deliveries, my observations about the fact that people here live paycheck to paycheck. But I have to say, however, I have yet to do deliveries at Caesar's Palace or Aria. And that's another thing too. The very top-end casinos they're basically full price. I mean, you might get lucky sometimes and be able to book a room at Caesar's Palace for, I believe, as low as like $110 or $120, sometimes $80 if you're lucky. You know, it's possible, but typically Caesar's Palace goes for about $140, $130 a night. But at the high-end casinos, you notice how there aren't any 2-for-1 specials or any of that stuff. It's almost like Camel unfiltered cigarettes. They're never really on sale. It's the same thing with the high-end casinos. I've yet to see people order while they are guests there, and pretty much people at that level have more money to burn, more disposable income. And there is another observation too. Remember that video by the park when I said that certain groups aren't visible here, or there just are fewer of them in higher end casinos? Well, this is considered a locals casino for people with money that are local, right? Local area. And here there is a high concentration of ethnic Chinese from Red China, specifically Hong Kong, and I can hear it because I can hear Cantonese. And as a matter of fact, they've got the clack clack pai gow poker tiles at a couple tables, and lots and lots of Chinese gamblers going for it at the baccarat tables. I mean, I saw this lady with $25,000 in chips, but she was betting conservatively at $25, $50 a hand. And it's about 3:15 in the morning, and there are still people out here. And let me just go out to the main area. I mean, just let me step forward. I mean, see, look at this. Look all the way back. There are people. There are lots of people here, and this is just I suppose, a 3-star casino. It's more crowded at Caesars and the other casinos on the Strip, and it's already pushing 3:30 in the morning. But the majority of these gamblers are not just Asian; they are ethnic Chinese from Red China. Now, I understand there are Chinese from Thailand, Chinese from Indonesia, but these are actual Chinese from mainland China. I don't see too many Japanese or Koreans. If they are Japanese, they tend to be from Hawaii, and I'm seeing more and more Koreans. But when I first visited Las Vegas as an adult, when I was just a kid, 21 or 22, there weren't that many Korean gamblers, period. And it's reflective of the economic progress that Koreans have made in South Korea, and of course spills over here into this country, because all of a sudden you see these apartments in Seoul going for $1 million. Well, the family will typically sell that apartment, immigrate to the United States, and open up a gas station or 7-Eleven. At this point, Koreans are moving away from convenience stores and gas stations, and they're at the next level for the most part. But it's interesting because casinos are reflective of like the economic realities of certain groups. And of course, the 800-pound gorilla in the corner would be a certain group. You don't really see this certain group in you do see them at Jerry's Nugget. You see black gamblers. I should say African American gamblers, because there are Africans here, but just African Americans. You see them here. I've yet to see like a gambler from that community with, I'd say, 10,000 on the table. I have yet to see that. All right, so yeah, it's lots and lots of Chinese gamblers, and I do notice that there are more East Asians that are playing craps overall, because in casinos in East Asia and Southeast Asia, it's normally cards. You would be very lucky to find even 1 or 2 craps tables at a casino in these other countries. Same thing with it's the same thing with Europe. You don't see too many. And that's one game that defines who we are as Americans, craps. It may have started in England, I believe, from an older game. You can look this up on Wikipedia, but it was developed, I think, in basically New Orleans in the 19th century, in the early 19th century. But that's a definitive game. Just like, I have to admit, just like Las Vegas is a quintessential American city. It's got all these American values and vices that we abhor and we cherish. Well, it's just like a street gang in LA. That's as American as you can get. That's as American as apple pie and fortune cookies. Yeah, fortune cookies. And what is chow mein, I think? Chow mein, or One of those Chinese dishes isn't exactly Chinese. The fortune cookies, fortune cookies are as American as apple pie, basketball, and Las Vegas. Apple pie technically is English. Baseball is technically English. You notice how baseball and cricket are extremely similar. But basketball, fortune cookies, and the way that craps is in its current state, those are 100% American. Those are 100% American. And of course, a baseball steak that's more than about 28 ounces, porterhouse. So, well, I better wrap this up at this point, but I just want to let you know about the paycheck-to-paycheck mentality in American society as reflected here in Las Vegas, and of course, the tip on deliveries. But I'll sign off now, and I'll see you folks next part. And, I'm not going to say what other people say. Subscribe to my channel. I don't really give a damn if you subscribe or not. What I do care about is that you enjoy these videos and take as much information as you can about them. And by the way, I was wrong. You can't do the martingale system on the 5-cent blackjack machine because it only allows you to bet 10 units. In other words, if 1 unit is 5 cents, you can only bet up to, or 1 unit is, just for example, if it is 5 cents, you can only bet up to 50 cents. So 5, 10, 20, 40. You can only go about 4 hands before that's it. You can't go anymore. You have to go to the next level, which is like a dollar machine or whatever, or a dollar option. But that's how they prevent people from just going on there forever and doing a double up, because if there were no limits, and you could just win your money back eventually, I mean, it's unlikely that you'll lose, 15 hands in a row. But there are no casinos, even like face-to-face blackjack games. They won't let you go out, They won't let you go out or double your money 15 times. I'm still testing it out with the roulette machines, but that's a riskier proposition. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you next part. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Ciao.